Hello class, I'm TSgt Javoris Jordan, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Air Force culture where I currently work, which is the 552 AMXS at Tinker Air Force Base. Anyway, I explain. That's the jet that I work on. Alright, the culture where I work currently, it is hardworking, fast-paced, expertise-oriented, mission-oriented. That is the organizational culture where I work, and those are the 4 words that I use to describe it. Hardworking is one of the words that I chose. So oftentimes in our career fields, especially in maintenance, you'll see that we work long shifts. They tax you mentally, physically. You're constantly deploying and going TDY last minute to random countries and going the extra mile to get the mission done without a choice. More often than not, you're also completing these jobs out in the elements to get the mission done, which is also a major factor that I'll talk about mentally and physically. So you could be working in 40-degree weather, you could be working in 110. So that's one of the words that I've used to describe my organizational culture. The other word I used is fast-paced. So some career fields move at a steady, medium, or slow pace. In the maintenance realm, it can move between fast, medium, slow. Most of the time, it's a fast pace. Oftentimes, missions drop, and we have to quick turn aircrafts. This consists of refueling or fixing aircrafts in order to meet the mission's needs in the nearby future. This could be anywhere from 1 hour after landing to a day. So oftentimes, missions will come down even after a jet lands, and they're saying, hey, this jet has a real-world mission. We need to get X, Y, and Z done on it. So a lot of times it's fast-paced with quick turning jets and things like that. And there's not really a lot of time for, sitting around and things of that nature. Another word that I use to describe the organizational culture is the expertise. We're technical experts that must always be on point. One mistake in our line of work is the difference between a plane getting the mission done or crashing with multiple casualties. Mission-oriented is another word that I use to describe the culture where I work at the 552. One of the characteristics that are ingrained in us from the first time we step foot on the flight line is mission first. 552 is all about getting the mission done no matter what it takes. And as soon as you walk in, you're getting turnover from the shift prior to tell you what's going on and what this jet has going on. Right after that, we have a roll call, and the roll call normally go over everything that needs to be done to get the mission done and what this jet has going on that day. So mission-oriented is the thing that drives us. Unhealthy culture. So in the 552, you will find some unhealthy culture, which you'll see no trust in leadership is one of the unhealthy cultures. You'll see a lot of people that don't have trust in their leadership, and unfortunately, they spew it out and they manifest it down, and their subordinates hear it, their peers hear it, and then it kind of spreads. So some people who haven't even interacted with their leadership, unfortunately, that's some of the first things that they hear, and now they believe, okay, I don't need to trust my leadership, and things like that. So that's one of the unhealthy cultures. No morale. We do have no morale in the 552. A lot of the times it's because of our work pace and all the things that we do, we're constantly fixing things. I do think a lot of it, or some of it, is also leadership not going the extra mile to, make sure that there is morale. Like, hey, let's take a down day and do, this and that. We don't have a mission going on this day. Let's do this, let's do that. That's one of the reasons why we don't have any morale. So that's one of the unhealthy cultures, and unfortunately, it's spread throughout the squadron. Clique culture. So clique culture is one of the things that you'll also see that's unhealthy in the 552. So you'll see a lot of people that have their set group of people that they hang with every day. They don't really go out and, kind of try to make other friendships and things like that. You'll see they have those cliques and then they kind of stick with them. Especially if they're trying to help each other out for awards and things like that, they kind of just stick in that little clique with, helping their guys. That's something that I'm not really proud of, but that's something that we do have there, and it's a lot. You will see that a lot there. And the suck it up culture. which goes back to the no morale. Because you have a lot of guys that have been there for forever, and because they've had no morale, they tell other guys that that might have some complaints or might feel disoriented and things like that. They tell them, hey, suck it up. It's always been this way. Suck it up. Or if you've been on a 12-hour shift and you're waiting on this and waiting on that, you got to get this done even after your 12-hour shift is done, and you got a guy saying, suck it up. This is just how it's always been. So the suck it up culture is also one of the things that are very unhealthy in our culture, and we need to learn to be a little more empathetic about that. Healthy culture. No airmen left behind. So even though I've talked about the suck it up culture in the unhealthy section, there is no airmen left behind. When someone actually has something serious going on, you actually will see people band together to make sure that individual is okay. So that's something that I'm very proud of in the 552. No airmen left behind, especially myself. I will always go the extra mile to ask somebody, hey man, you all right? Even if I don't even know you. Accountability. One of the things in the 552, accountability is a very huge thing. The accountability is what makes us so good at what we do and how we get the mission done and to be able to do the things that we do across the water. Sometimes that accountability might result in some paperwork. Sometimes it might result in just a talk. So it just depends. But the accountability is one of the things that we hold near and dear. So that's very healthy in our culture, and I love it. And like I said, that's why we produce, great airmen. Plethora of mentorship. So a plethora of mentorship is something I'm very proud of too. So the good thing about that is if you need mentorship, you don't just have one or two people you can go to. You have so many people that you can go to for mentorship. You go down the hallway, you can get some mentorship. You go around the corner, you can get some mentorship. There are plenty of people there. You just have to reach out and ask. And sometimes, some people will reach out and ask you. So a plethora of mentorship is something that I really love, and it's what helped me get my career on track by having so many different mentors that helped me change direction. And now I'm in NCOIC. Since I changed my path of direction, that's due to some mentorship from some great, great people. Now, for my role in the organizational culture and shaping it at the 552, I believe that my role is to always constantly ask, what can we do better? Taking the unhealthy cultures and asking them about those unhealthy cultures and asking them, hey man, what can I do to nix this unhealthy culture? What can we do to make it better? And when they tell me those things, I will always up-channel it and I will always follow up. And those are the ways that we actually shape our organization, by actually going out of our way to see what those unhealthy cultures are and doing what we can to make it better. And I believe as an NCO, that is my job, to make sure that culture stays healthy and to nix every piece of unhealthy culture at a time. So thank you.